Welcome to the Quality of Mind Transforming Business podcast, where we explore the game-changing understanding that can unlock new levels of performance and well-being in the workplace. If you want to be part of the new breed of leaders in business, if you're fed up with the conventional echo chamber, and if you want to be part of a revolution in human potential, then join us. To discover the powerful resource that lives before our psychology.
Hello and welcome to the Quality of Mind Transforming Business podcast series. And this episode is an excerpt of a conversation I had with someone who attended the 3-day open program. And Cassandra, who works for a big multinational, was aware of Quality of Mind happening in certain parts of her workplace, but it wasn't available to her. So she came on the program on her own initiative. And this is a great episode if you really want to understand the nature of quality of mind and the benefits and how transformative and pervasive it really can be for all aspects of life and work. So listen in, and I'd love to hear any of your feedback or questions. Cassie, you came on the Quality of Mind 3-day open program in March 2023, which is almost 2.5 years ago now.
Yeah.
Love to know, if you can encapsulate this, what's changed for you in life and work since your understanding of quality of mind?
So I suppose the reason that I wanted to go and join the course to begin with, it was purely out of curiosity. I think it was speaking a language that I fundamentally had in me already. My intuition sort of was pointing to. So I was wanted to explore a bit more about that. I think really then what really made the difference was that it was how you framed it up. So I could recognize that the way I was sort of engaging and seeing that my experience of the world is through the narrative of a mind, not necessarily from the world outside itself. So it helped me see clearly that my experience of the world was just a reflection of what my monologue was saying, but and other people were experiencing the world like that as well. So I think it gave me a recognition that that everyone experiences life through their own unique experiences, really. So it's something that I knew already, but it was nice to be in an environment where I could explore that further. Coming from somebody like yourself that had already been through a journey and offering this conversation really to help me clarify that this is how I've seen it and the world. But I mean, it's quite freeing really when you can have that conversation with yourself around understanding how your perceptions are shaping sort of your interactions with the world. You can have that freedom of conversation in a really simple way, I think.
And how does life work look and feel to you now? What's changed? What's the benefit?
Yeah, I think it's more. I think it's a lightness and spaciousness. I feel definitely a bit lighter and more spaciousness, I guess, with how I interact with friends and family and colleagues. It's helped me sort of zoom out. I think just understanding about your own perception is what shapes your experience. It's helped me to just reduce the noise when I'm in these situations with friends and family, and make you more grounded, more present, just to turn off some of that monologue, which can make you judge or make you react. But you just feel more liberated and more comfortable and confident with some of these interactions. It's that stepping back, zooming out, has helped lessen the anxiety and just some situations you might find yourself in that could become a little bit anxious. Make you down.
So what I heard you say there was there's a lightness, there's spaciousness.
Yeah.
You're more present.
Yeah.
More liberated. You find it easier to zoom out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not getting plagued by that inner monologue.
Yeah, that's it.
So
just being able to turn that down and seeing the situation you're in from a more lightness point of view, not having that controlling how you respond to a situation, or a judgmental point of view, I guess. It's like just facing the situation in a more present, grounding way.
So less judgmental, more present.
Yeah.
And would you say that, as well as turn down some of that inner monologue, does the world itself look different? Do you see more joy and peace and those things anyway?
100%. I love the free feeling of just being in the moment or present. Like going for a walk and just noticing the berries on a tree. And I was doing this morning, actually. And just in that moment of just noticing things around you, you're so present without meaning to be, but it just puts you into that state, doesn't it, automatically? And so it's getting to that point has become a lot easier as well,
Right.
much easier. So there's clarifying through this course. It's the clarification that you're getting to a place which is actually what the truth is, without all of the other stuff creating the truth for you, and you're feeling it by noticing smaller things or being more present. And so the course is just elaborating on the instinct I already had, but in a confirmation way. It's like, wow, it's not just me feeling this. This is actually something out there and talked about.
It's really interesting what you say there, because a lot of people do go, they have an inner inkling what we talked about was the case, but because a lot of society points the opposite direction, you're like, oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Well, that's it.
But you said it's confirmed to you. Oh yeah, there is a beauty and peace and to reality.
And that place and that feeling is what you're trying to achieve. Recognize that the mind can just be confusing. The psychology side of things can add too much to your life. Life doesn't have to be like that, and you can control it. I think the course made me realize as well, all you were saying about the rest of the world signposts to tools and techniques to get yourself there. Actually, you just don't need any of that. It's not complicated. So you come with that. We all come with that, probably that instinct, but the rest of the world signposts you to, well, then let's go and understand how to do this using this technique or that tool or that strategy or that way of thinking. You're like, actually, you don't need any of that. So it confirmed the inner instinct, which I think we all have. It's just refreshing to find a common language with you and your kids.
And would you say that you've used the word a couple of times, you feel you can control it? Is it control, or is it actually knowing you don't need to control?
Well, that's it. It's not controlling. It's just knowing it's always there.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm now inducing a state of being. It's like, actually, I know it's always there. I'm just going to let it be the priority right now, because the psychology side of things shadows over it, because I don't know why it does that. It just does that. And so, but it's like, actually, I know it's there. So you're not manifesting anything, or you're not fixing yourself. It's always there, and you signpost to that really easily.
And let's take other people now, which obviously can be a bane of contention in our lives, whether that's in family and friends, or particularly at work with colleagues and bosses. And what have you noticed now about others?
That they are, majority of the time, I look at other people, especially when they get me a little bit worked up, and just think, this is not your fault. You're not predisposed to be this way. You're just being shaped by your own experience, your own downstream experience with the world. Nobody's designed to be like that. It's just how they're letting their internal monologue or their experiences growing up or other things, the downstream side of things, the whole psychology side of things, dictate how they should interact with the world, which is through judgment. So it's hard to sometimes say you're an idiot, and I hate it. It's hard to not hate somebody if they're really being that open in a particular way. But you recognizing that actually that feeling you got is reacting to them, which is not really who they are. So don't let yourself react to that.
Yeah.
So just letting go of that whole, you're just shaped by many different things.
And I think you mentioned it's easier to be less judgmental now. It's easier to be patient and kind and compassionate.
Just knowing that they haven't quite found that ability to recognize that there's an inner peace already within them, and they don't have to be stressed at the world. I think one of the key learnings for me as well is that whatever goes on in my head, whatever stress that I might have, the rest of the world is still the same out there, and nothing changes outside. And it's purely just your reaction, your biochemistry at the time, or whatever it is, and your psychology that is making you see what's going on in a different way. But if you take that all away, the world's still the same. Nothing changes. Let's just be in it, like a tree.
Yeah. Just be in it. And does it look like there's any area of existence, reality, life that this understanding isn't relevant for?
Absolutely not. I cannot. It's so fundamental in my mind. It's so fundamental with everything. Even just seeing the news and these, the situation of the world today, it just makes you realize, my goodness, we're almost like avatars with the programming. And okay, let's just playing the game, I guess. It doesn't excuse any behavior at all, but I do see the world very differently as a result. And there's nothing that it can't impact. Just having this acceptance and this knowledge, and the willing to look slightly differently at things and in a different direction. That's everyone can do that. So there's not a situation that can't be touched by you just having that approach to things.
And some courses and programs people might go on, they might get an initial hit and then it kind of wears off. There's like a half-life. And
yeah, for sure. I can understand that. Yeah. But I think if you're curious, and because you just get it, you see it. It's almost, it's how you feel.
Yeah. But would you say, like, so when you finished our initial 3 days we did, as I say, 2.5 years ago, and you think about today, is your quality of mind, in a lot of courses, it will be like, 10% of what it was because the course is so long ago, 2.5 years. But it feels like from what you've been saying, actually, it's been getting better.
It has.
It hasn't worn off. It hasn't got a half-life.
It hasn't got a half-life at all. You can't forget that liberating feeling. Just hold on to that.
Which is, as you said, is always there anyway.
It's always there. Just recognize it's always there. And that's why I do think it's important. Is you don't need a tool or technique like sitting down and meditating for 10 minutes a day. You need to go for a walk and just let yourself be present, enjoy the feeling. So you do have to carve out a little bit of you time to enjoy being in that place, which exists because you felt amazing when you were there. So I will admit, I can see the world now very differently, but the last 3 months, I have literally spent more time up in a plane than I have on solid ground, traveling. And so I'm always thinking one thing or the other. My approach to stressful situations is very different because I let myself go into this place which doesn't allow my inner monologue and psychology dictate. But I must say, stopping and finding that time just to be present and go for a walk and really let yourself go into that happy space. That won't happen all the time, but it's okay because I can spend some time reflecting on things. And
so it's almost like, it's a phrase I often say, with this understanding, it's not like 100% of life is perfect. But when you're not quite where you want to be, that's okay too, because you're only ever one moment away. So it doesn't really matter so much.
That's it. Yeah. And things only become complicated when you think that what's going on in your head is truth. And you think that is what really is life, when it becomes complicated. But if you don't let that happen,
And why do you think, and this obviously would be just your personal opinion, I guess, no right or wrong here, why do you think this understanding, which one can argue is incredibly simple, it's not always easy, but it's incredibly simple, why do you think it's not more mainstream yet?
Because it's not profit making enough, I don't think.
Maybe.
Psychologists want to make money on trying to tell you need to be something different, I guess. I want this to be mainstream, and I want this to be taught in schools. And I think, unfortunately, people like words like meditation, and it's happening out there. People are recognizing that you don't necessarily need all these tools and techniques to change who you are, but they're still making it part of other bigger a bigger thing like longevity and mindfulness and stuff like that, packaging it up in other things rather than just let it be. and recognizing that you just let your feelings flow through you, almost sit back and enjoy the feeling, almost like, yeah, that was weird, that made me feel very strange. Why was that, or what was that feeling?
Yeah, and what would, if you had a friend or a colleague who was maybe just a little bit curious, because maybe you've mentioned this thing called quality of mind, and they were like, well, oh, I don't think that's for me, or something like that. Well, what would you say to them if you wanted to point them in this direction?
I think a certain type of person needs to know that they are looking for this. I do think that. And maybe they've gone through a few other channels, and it hasn't worked for them. And maybe it could be from a desperation point of view, or it could be from they're receptive just because they're looking for this. But you don't have to be, that's the thing, at all. But what I would say is that this isn't about trying to fix yourself, and it's not hard work, but this would help you look at yourself and the world through a different lens, and it will change your life. And I think people probably, unless they're willing to really see that actually is all you need to do, people feel like it's up to them, there's something that's wrong with them.
Yeah. So they don't know the ease of it being available, actually, the simplicity of it being available.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if someone was a bit skeptical, saying, oh yeah, well, all these courses say brilliant things, but blah, 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 what would you say to someone who's a little skeptical?
Well, you're shaped by your own biases. You're just shaped by an experience that you've had, or a judgment on something, or you've already decided that because it's not something that's going to change you, then it has to be too woo-woo. It's you're after something because you can't believe, nobody believes that something is pretty much free. It just needs to be signposted in the right way. It's like, what's the catch here? But it's not. And I think it needs to be shaped like it's understanding the mind and understanding psychology, as opposed to we're trying to fix yourself. Because as soon as you just understand the fundamentals, you realize that you don't need to fix yourself. It's just not having that understanding to things. Use this as something, as a tool, not to make you feel better and achieve, a better state of mind. It's just understanding a little bit more about the whole psychology side of things. Then you make your own judgment up, because you'll be free from all of the biases and the judgment to accept, actually, and I would just understand the mind. I get it a lot more.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because if you're coming to just understand because you're curious, there will be the benefit that things get better.
Yeah, that's it.
As you've described, but that's not really why you need to come along. You don't need to come along because you're broken or you're a mess or whatever.
That's it. That's it.
You can just come along out of curiosity, but you will then find that you can go from good to great.
Yeah, and I think as soon as you say something like your interactions with the world, you'll change how you interact with the world. People are like, well, actually, because you're breaking down all these barriers.
Yeah.
Then I think that people will want to know, well, I want to show up better, because it's almost like people looking for self-help books, self-help this, to change how they either come across, how they interact. They know they can be an idiot sometimes. They might have argumentative streak in them. They might have stress and worry. They know they've got that to deal with. This is about teaching you a technique with your own innate, what's already there, to interact with the world differently. Rather than telling you you're bad and wrong.
Yes. Or giving you psychological hacks and tools and techniques.
That's it. Yeah.
And what about someone who's not rejecting it, but they're just a little hesitant, and they go, oh, maybe in a few years' time, maybe I'll get round to doing that.
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
Well, I mean, I would have to say you've got to go for it now. If you're curious to have this conversation with me right now, you're looking for something. You're going to meet the most amazing people. You're going to have like-minded conversations, people that are coming from the same place as you. and being guided through something that is fascinating, foundational, sciencey, but in a really, it's without putting you at the center of it, really. So
almost impersonal.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
And quite often, one of the low piece of feedback we get quite consistently is, "Gosh, I wish I'd known this before." Right? So people come in their 30s or 40s or whatever to the course, and they're like, "Where was this 10 years ago?" And the biggest thing they say is, "I wish I'd known this 10, 15 years ago, because I could have then had this lovely, rich experience of life earlier."
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can see that. I agree.
So everyone likes a soundbite and a gist, which is always very difficult with understanding. But, if we're doing the 20, 30-second version of this, what would you say to someone who's either been pointed to a video of a testimonial or stumbled across it? How would you kind of encapsulate it in a way that might really appeal and entice people?
I think I'd go back to saying that this is a program that isn't about tools, techniques, strategies, a new way of thinking, or about changing yourself. It's just a deeper understanding of the mind and how reality is experienced, how you can interact with things around you, just understanding how they're experiencing the world, their perceptions are shaping how they interact with the world. You can understanding that helps your understanding that your perceptions will also make the way you interact with the world, but you can let all that go and interact from a very stress-free and anxiety-free point of view, just knowing that everybody else is seeing the world through their own perception. And that little bit of knowledge helps you understand perhaps maybe why some people are being that way, and you shouldn't have to let it impact you.
And get practical for a moment. Is it worth it for the time and money that it cost you?
For me, it opened up a whole avenue. I went, it's easy to go down rabbit warren of investigation and continually be curious. And I love where it can lead you from the science point of view, from just even more of the psychology point of view. So it has been very, very, very worth it for me, because I have an echo chamber of this sort of stuff. And I love listening to how far this is going, how this is interacting even with physics and all these amazing people that are out there in the world that is recognizing there is so much more fundamentally to mind than just our psychology. And it leads to so much other stuff if you're curious. So it's definitely worth it. But I think it's just allowing people to recognize what you can do yourself is okay. It's perfect. You don't need to change anything. It's just how you show up, and knowing how your psychology is dictating your interaction, and just let go of that.
And some people say, "Oh, you do a 3-day program. Oh, but I'm really smart. I don't need a 3-day program, but I could probably get it in a day and a half." What would you say? Do you think the 3-day nature of it is important?
As soon as you get through the first morning, you want to continue and continue. One day it's not a tick box where you are learning something, go, okay, I got the concept, I'll go and practice now. Because that's just, again, a tool or a technique. This is a conversation. You're going to be curious to ask more questions. So 3 days is not long enough, because at that point you're like, okay, I've really got it now. If the penny's dropped, you're like, I don't want this to end. I want this conversation to keep going. And you're in a safe space to do it. And your curiosity is just like pinging away. So I don't know if there's going to be anybody that would do the course without after the first day going, right, yeah, thanks, got it, move on now. Because they're going to be curious to ask more. And that you don't have to be a CEO to be able to have that penny drop. It happens to everybody.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, is that this is immaterial or agnostic to your age, your gender, your demographic, your EQ, your IQ,
100%.
your background, it's
It's
just human being.
Yes. There's no discrimination with this because it is just a mind, and it's understanding how this, what that mind's doing for us.
So if there were, I ask people this question, if there were 3 words or short phrases, and that's all you can say, what would your 3 words or short phrases be to summarize, the power of this, the value of this, and everything about it?
It's a complete shift in fundamental understanding. It's a shift in one's fundamental understanding to the mind and the psychology, your own psychology. And it's something so innate in all of us. And yeah, I don't know. Fundamental comes up a lot.
Yeah. The word fundamental does come up a lot, doesn't it? Yeah.
And well, I guess, and it's nothing to be scared around either, or ambiguous when you're even having the conversation. It just feels right. It just feels like it's like, yes, of course. Just feels right. Yeah.
And because some people might be thinking, well, this all sounds a bit too fundamental, a bit too woo-woo. Is it practical in the implication and what turns up?
100%. You can walk away with just knowing just understanding the foundations of it all, and that feeling of the importance of not reacting or responding or to your internal monologuing. But you can also just open up the whole world of further curiosity in the you just a bit more about the why and the what now, and where else are people having these conversations. So it's very practical, but then it's also hugely, it's a whole subject in its own right. A lot of the big thinkers of the world are playing in that space. So yeah, it has something for all sorts of curiosity levels.
Yes. And is there anything I haven't asked you and I should done, or anything else you want to share that you think people will be fascinated to hear?
When you walk in the room, you're not the only person in there you don't feel different as soon as you walk into the room.
Okay. Yeah. And that helped your ability to explore, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
felt free.
That's it. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
So even though I guess some people might be thinking, oh, is this for people who are all like this or all like that? A particular type of spiritual seeker,
well, they're
or
here
someone
for a
who's
different agenda or anything like that. And they're like, you could potentially feel like an imposter. It's like, there could be people there that are coming through a business channel, and they've got colleagues, or the independents like me, who's just curious to explore something further. But ultimately, we're all there for the same reason, and you realise that as soon as you're in there, and it's not on a course trying to peacock your way around. It's not about how you show up. It's a leveler.
Okay. And last question now, looking to the future, decades down the road, what excites you now about this understanding, knowing what you know about the world and psychology?
Well, I think it's just a comfort. I'm going to be taking a comfort with me. It's more just a comfort, I think. And I'm going to I have an echo chamber. I listen to podcasts. I read books. I'm fascinated and curious about how far this is going in this world. But that's just my curiosity. I'm not going to try to develop myself in anywhere further as such. You can't be a master at it suddenly. It's not like a course you do, and there's loads of other courses to master yourself. But it just gives you comfort. It's like, I know I can survive. So going forward. Yeah. And I got the confidence, and almost the liberating bit gives you the freedom to explore and experiment.
Yeah. Whatever happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And trust your instincts. I mean, I went on this course because I was curious and I had a real instinct, curiosity and a strong instinct about stuff. And I think my best friend is my instinct. So I just think knowing that it's okay, I've got that instinct, you've all got that instinct, and now we've got this understanding that we're okay on our own. We are amazing people. It's that comfort in knowing all of that. I think I'll take with me.
Brilliant. So I think if anyone was listening to this and was still on the fence, be highly unlikely, what would be your last word? If someone's listening to this, I'm still not sure. Your parting comment.
I would say go and have a chat with you first. I would say,
Yeah.
well, go and have a chat with you.
And absolutely, sometimes that's all it takes. Just having a chat.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And you can just keep on talking. I mean, that's the thing. It's just, it's not like it's a topic that has an ending.
No, it's amazing, isn't it? And when you get curious, you get curious.
Oh, that is my, you talk about the flow state. It's magical.
Well, all right. Well, take care and speak again soon.
Right.
And listeners, have fun being curious and catch you next time.
If you enjoyed listening to this podcast and want to know more, check out our website at qualityofmind.biz. And also feel free to reach out and leave us a review or a comment. Until next time, have fun being curious.